I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like nah, nah, nah. For my top 10, top 10, nah, nah, nah. This one's for my top 10.
The being prepared for the next thing is so wildly critical. I think life in general is rise and fall. Everything is rise and fall. And there's been a couple times in my life where I got caught holding on to the last wave while it's dying.
Oh, I have a good quote for that.
Yeah.
I have a Casey Neistat quote.
What Casey
which
said?
is like that I don't even think he probably didn't make this up, but Tarzan can't get to the next branch if he doesn't let go of the first one.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of
real.
that same philosophy.
Yep, absolutely. And you've got to be, when you're grabbing that first one and you're holding it, it's going to be there, it's fantastic, but you got to know that you're going to have to let go at some point, because the same thing that saved your life, if you hang on, it'll kill you.
Taking responsibility, accepting responsibility is not an admission of guilt. Like you're not admitting that you're at fault. Taking responsibility is a recognition of the power that you seize when you stop blaming people. It's not like you're letting somebody who wronged you off the hook. Like taking responsibility is an act of emotional self-defense. Taking responsibility is taking your power back.
Everybody was sitting at home looking at their devices, right? When what felt like a new atrocity to some people, but was happening over and over again for African Americans, and for this to happen in this time for the whole world to see what we've been saying for hundreds of years.
Yes.
My grandmother taught me to try to be thankful for these times and these opportunities, to try to be thankful for your pain, and we are in a circumstance that we've never been before. The entire globe has stood up and said to the African American people, we see you and we hear you. How can we help? We've never been there before. I learned a really valuable lesson in this, right? Because the network wanted to do one more season of The Fresh Prince. And I remember I was considering I was going to do one more season of The Fresh Prince, and we'd done an episode or something with John Amos. Okay. And John Amos came to me, he said, hey man, listen. He's like, don't overstay your welcome on TV. He was like, you're doing great stuff. He's like, you do not want to get canceled in the middle of a season. It's like, go out on your terms, the way that you want to go out, be able to say goodbye to your fans. Don't get caught.
Okay. That's good advice.
And then, so this was the 6th season, and I had an opportunity to do one more season, but I was feeling like the quality wasn't necessarily gonna stay up, and I decided to end the show in the 6th season. Rage is justified under oppression. It also can be really dangerous. You got to be careful not to be consumed by your own rage.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've worked really hard on. And what I loved about the peaceful protests, it's like peaceful protests put up a mirror to the demonic imagery of your oppressor. And the more still you are in your peaceful protest, the more clear the mirror is to the oppressor, for the world to see and for them to see themselves. So I was really encouraged by how powerfully this generation
was able to hold that mirror.
Differentiate, though, between talent and hard work.
Absolutely.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. I view myself as, slightly above average in talent. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. While the other guy's making love, well, I'm making love too, but I'm working really hard at it.
I'm working really hard at it.
So when the phone rings and you have an alarm goes off, says Denzel Washington right now is hooking up, you got to go at it right now, right?
For me, man, it's like the separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. And, for me, I feel like I have a relationship with the audience. They agree that they're going to go in droves, and I agree that every time they go, it's going to be better than the last time. So I think that's part of the relationship, and I'm going to hold up my part as long as they keep holding up theirs.
I think that to assist others.
Everything now. So what I find is it makes me explore and experience in ways that I wouldn't have if I wasn't going to shoot it.
Right.
We get into cities, we get into, Seoul, Korea, and I'm exhausted. But I know MLMA is doing something, so I want to go down. It actually makes me get out of the bed and go and explore and experience and meet people. Even this time with you and doing this press conference at the YouTube space, it's like it's an opportunity. I wanted to meet with you. I wanted to sit with you. I wanted to hear what you think. It's like it jogs that creative beast in